This is Be Seen, Be Heard with Jade. Jade Seabury grew up imagining seeing her name in lights on Broadway one day, so she went to the best performing arts schools in Queens, New York, where she was born and raised. When she decided to expand her horizons and go off to college at the University of Hartford, a new path was set for her. She wanted to get her master's in public relations and come back to be an amazing entertainment publicist. Jade returned to NYC after college and became a partner in a PR firm for 8 years and then started Diverse Tunes. Co-founded with her childhood friend in 2018, this educational foundation became her passion, and the tagline Be Seen, Be Heard was the start of a new web series that tells people of color stories that could empower everyone.
Hi, this is Be Seen and Be Heard with Jade, and I'm here with Essynce Moore of Essynce Couture. Hi, Essynce. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So how does it feel to be a mini mogul at just 17 years old? A fashion designer, cosmetics and beauty products line, boutique owner, author, motivational speaker, and actress. It's like, oh my gosh.
It feels great. I just turned 18. It's a whole new world, literally. Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And it's just a journey. I'm constantly learning, constantly growing and improving, and I'm just along for this ride of life.
I hear that. So you started making clothes at 7 years old. Did you make them out of like fabric your mom had laying around or what?
I would literally, when it came to making clothes, I would pull sheets off of my bed and turn them into gowns. I would take whatever old fabric or clothing that was just lying around the house and cut it, get some pins, start pinning stuff together, and honestly, doing anything and everything that allowed me to be creative with fashion. I love clothes so much. So I just taking advantage of what I had.
I hear that. So your mom helped you turn it into a business at just 10. So were you hands-on with that whole process? Was it your decision? Walk us through it.
So I remember, all right, so first and foremost, my mom is a big entrepreneur. I've always been within the space of being your own boss. And so I remember when I was 10, she spoke to me. She was like, Essence, you're still designing these clothes. You're so passionate about fashion. Is this something you want to turn into a business? And I said yes on that car ride home from school. And so since then, my mom always made sure I was a part of the process in terms of how everything went and everything going on. So I witnessed the paperwork and getting things legalized. And then I met with a seamstress and we discussed how I envisioned the clothes, and we would shop at the fabric store together. And I also got a mentor. So my mentor would sort of help me in terms of like the making process and all that aspect of it.
So talk about your mentor more. I love mentor and mentee relationship.
So I have many mentors. I am a sponge. I'm always absorbing knowledge. One of my mentors is Shavi Lewis. He is the owner of the House of Shavi. He was actually just on Project Runway. He's a fashion designer as well. And so I've known him since I was like 11 years old, and I adore him so much. So I've learned a lot from him, and just about the business aspect and the creative aspect and fashion. It's one of those things you never stop learning from it. So you've always got to be open to receiving that knowledge.
That's so true. So true. So what are the premise behind your 3 books? And how did you decide to become an author after already having so much on your plate with being a fashion designer?
So I've loved writing for as long as I can remember. That's another aspect, another language I choose to express myself in. And so I've loved writing since elementary school. I remember one of my favorite assignments in class was getting a picture and the teacher telling you, all right, make this into a story. Tell me the story behind this picture. And so when I got to middle school, every day I'd come home from school, my mom would always ask me the same question: how was your day at school? And I would always have some crazy story to tell her about real life events of things that would really go on. And she said to me, she was like, you should start writing this stuff down. And I did. I started journaling almost like a diary, like day by day, what would happen and how it would make me feel amongst my friends and the teachers and what really goes on within the education system and within the school building. And next thing you know, I self-published these books and the series was born, and we got them turned into mandatory readings within schools.
Nice. So do you ever imagine one day seeing your books turn into like a series or maybe like an animated cartoon or anything like that? Because there are so many young stories now talking about the everyday life of, young people today. So do you I don't know, envision that?
I absolutely envision a series and movies. I've been asked that question so many times. We've discussed it so many times, and there's just so much in terms of the process and how to make that a reality. But it is definitely something I'm interested in terms of even writing my own script and getting these books turned into something that you can visually see. So that's definitely, it's somewhere in the plan. Absolutely, yes.
Good, good. So what are the type of shows that you binge watch or, is like top on your list of things?
I love that. I'm currently rewatching The Vampire Diaries on
My
Netflix
gosh,
for like the 300th time. Yes, I love The Vampire Diaries. I just started watching Cobra Kai. My mom told me to get on there, so I just started getting into that. I love binging shows. I just love being taken to a different world. And one of my favorite shows growing up was H2O with the mermaids.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely some of my favorites there.
Nice. Okay, great. Did you watch the spinoff Legacies? That's a good one. Yes.
I haven't yet. I'm actually still finishing the originals.
Okay.
So once I wrap that up, I'm gonna hop on
you have to watch
Legacy.
the originals first before you watch Legacies. Yes, that's true. Okay, nice. So the subject matter of your books and your writing, did that get you into motivational speaking?
I would say, actually, no. It was fashion that got me into motivational speaking. Who would have thought? Because when I had my photo shoot launch party, I got my first set of clothes made, and I had this big event to showcase them. My mom told me, she's like, all right, you got to go speak to your audience, thank everyone for coming.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was very nervous, never really did anything like that before. And I went and I spoke. And afterwards, my mom, she pulls me to the side. She's like, there is something there. She was like, when you speak, people pay attention. And I was like, Mommy, I don't want to do this anymore. She was like, no, she's like, trust me, just do it one more time. Pay attention to the reaction of the audience and let me know if this is something you're interested in. So I did it. I spoke again and I paid attention to the feedback I received from the crowd, the audience, and I fell in love with how my words could impact others and how you could inspire one simply through talking to them. So I've been motivational speaking since I was 10, actually. Yeah, 10 years old. So that's definitely something that I never thought I would be doing. And I love it so much.
Wow. So, pre-COVID, how was it to get up there and, speak and know that your words are inspiring and acting to people? And I know you have your own conferences that you built up that platform. So how was that to start those conferences and have these mini events that you curated yourself? How was that?
One thing a lot of people don't know, I wing it. I do. I don't like to plan what I speak. I like to have an idea of what I'm going to talk about. I like to feed off the energy from the audience and just be in the moment and be there and say what I think needs to be heard. And so it can be nerve-wracking at times. I remember one time I met this old wise man and he asked me, he was like, do you get nervous when you speak? I was like, yeah, sometimes I do. He was like, good, because when you're nervous, that means you understand the value of what your words can do. And so I like to do a little dance before I speak to sometimes, just get rid of some of those nerves. But once I'm up there, I'm in the moment and I'm present and I say what I feel. And 9 times out of 10, I guess I'm lucky because I'm not the only one who feels that way. So yeah, it's a wonderful thing. It's definitely an experience. Each one is memorable.
You're authentic. That's good. You don't want to be rehearsed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because those people that, get up there and have something rehearsed that they already, said a million times before in a million other rooms, you don't want to keep doing that. You don't want to be that one trick pony that says the same thing to 500 different rooms. So that's good. I really like that. So how does it feel that you were featured in a national Clean and Clear commercial? That's like amazing.
Thank you so much. It feels so wonderful. I remember when it first came out and I love watching YouTube videos and that little skip ad, it would be my ad that would pop up and I would see myself and that was like the one ad I didn't skip. And I would just watch it all the way through like, oh my gosh, it's me. And I would go to school and I would have some kids say to me like, was that you on my phone or on my TV? And that was a wonderful experience that I'm so grateful for. It was the start of something great. Like you just know this is just the beginning and that was amazing.
Okay, so I'm going to go take you all the way back to your 2015 New York City Spring Fall Fashion Week Showcase. Why did you title it Educated Punk? What did that embody to you?
Why did I title it Education Fund? Okay, so from grades, I want to say first grade to my sophomore year in high school, I had to wear uniforms in school.
Yeah.
So I was always thinking, what could I do to make this different? What can I do to make this me?
Got it.
So Educate and Punk was sort of my interpretation of that. I had the plaids and the collared shirts, and I wrecked it. I destroyed it. I added pins and rips and all these different things just to essence-fy it and make it mine. So that's really what that was all about, just my creative interpretation on society's norms.
How long did it take you to put together that collection?
I want to say it took about a month. And you want to know something interesting? Right before that fashion show, some of the clothes had, because we were traveling back and forth, some of the clothes had gotten a little just not up to par as to what I intended to be. So behind the scenes, I had my team with me. We were back there cutting, pinning, like, we're finding what it is and work with what we have.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's what happened.
Because the music, the models brought the attitude. I was like, oh my God, I loved it all. I was like, oh my gosh.
Thank you.
But the name, I'm always I'm like a sucker for names. I was like, the name is so unique. How did she do that? And she's so young. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I was like, phenomenal for 12 years old. And I was like, most adults couldn't even pull off this. And I was like, that's amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so amazing. Wow, that's a month to do that in a month. That's phenomenal.
Thank you so much. It's amazing what can happen when you have a good support system. Absolutely, yeah.
Very, very true. So, do you remember the opening day of the Essence Couture Spa and Boutique for children, tweens, and teens in 2015?
I do. I absolutely do, and I remember it being this monumental thing in the day and just getting ready and having family and friends come out to support, and even strangers, people I never met before, lined up at the door wanting to partake in something that I contributed to and had a big creative burst of energy in. And so that day, I remember, jump a couple weeks before, I remember going to this concert of this boy band I really liked at the time, the Bomb Digs, and I'm about to show you how business minded I was even at 13 years old. I found their manager, who happened to be one of the boys' moms, and I spoke to her about me having this grand opening and wanting them to be a part of it. And so I made sure she knew my name. She shared hers with me, and I got my mom in contact with her, and we got the guys to come out, and it was wonderful. Yeah, they got to make an appearance, and I remember my family being there and all of us making sure everything, like, you know how it is the day of, just making sure everything's organized, everything's in place. And my mom, going back to her being an entrepreneur, she's an event planner as well. So this was just her thing all the way in terms of preparation. So it was a very busy day. It was a very fun day. And like I said, just very monumental.
Wow. So was it like a dream come true? Did you always imagine having your own business one day and being like, this is what I want to do from like day one? You was like, I have to have my own boutique and spa. Was that like in the back of your head?
I feel like yes and no. Like, I always knew what I wanted in terms of having stores everywhere and my name on these stores and my clothes in them. But my mind, as a kid, my mind never thought business. It was just, this is my dream.
Exactly.
So business, I feel like that was the reality perspective in terms of, I could really make this happen. So it was always a part of the dream.
Yeah. So do you eventually want to have these all over?
Absolutely. I want to write books in different languages. I want clothing stores in different countries. I want to expand as much as I can.
Wow, that's amazing. Clothing stores in different countries. People don't even think that way. Like, that's just like, what? Who are you? People don't even think in that concept anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even a thought process of people. Like, do you understand your mind? That's like, oh my God. Like,
thank you.
I want a kid like you. Like, like,
oh my gosh, thank you.
That's amazing. Wow. Okay, so has it been deeply impacted by the pandemic, or have you just had to like connect your loyal customers in an alternative way and more like online interactions and things of that nature?
I think one way or another, we've all been deeply impacted by this year.
Yeah.
2020 is not at all what
Yeah.
we expected it to be. We knew it'd be different, but not this different. So I would definitely say it's impacted me on a mental level, which has reflected on my business and how I move. In a way, it's brought us further apart, but yet so close. So I think I've definitely taken the time, especially within quarantine, to just be with myself and learn what it is that I want and what different routes and aspects I can take in order to achieve what I want. So in terms of business, I've definitely matured a lot. I've definitely learned a lot, and I intend to implement my knowledge through the rest of my life. Yeah.
So saying that it's deeply impacted you mentally, so how have you practiced self-care?
Oh, self-care is so important to me. I took a break from yoga. I really want to get back to it. So I do yoga, I read a lot. I spend a lot of time with myself, which I've learned to enjoy, and just enjoy taking walks with myself. And I'll go roller skating at like public parks and have the best time with my headphones on, and learning that being with me and being only with me is the best place for me to be. So I feel like mentally, it's definitely been a learning aspect in terms of growth and coming to peace with my mind and with life and just everything.
That's true. So do you like acting? Like, can you tell everyone about the projects you've been in and the roles that you've played in those projects?
I love acting. One of my first major roles was when I was 8 years old, and I got the local play Cinderella in my hometown, and I got to play Cinderella. And I love acting so much, and it's something I've really been pushing, especially this year since I graduated high school. And I've been in Maggie's Plan with Julianne Moore. I've done Custody with Viola Davis. I've done an independent film called The Best of Two Evils, another independent film called King of North, the second one. And yes, acting is definitely something I'm very passionate about. It is something I see me doing for a very long time and taking it as far as I can go with it.
Wait, I love Custody with Viola Davis. Wait, you were
Wait. In the beginning, with all like the bad kids at the party.
Yes.
I was one of those bad kids.
Gosh. Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
Nice. So do you like the stage better or do you like the movies?
Stage is fun, but movies I'm more passionate about. Yeah.
Okay. Because I did musical theater all growing up. So like, I don't know. I always wanted to do Broadway when I was older. So yeah, I get it. It's a very different setup, and they're both long hours, but it's just a whole two very different beasts.
I was about to say, you would think they're so similar, but it's two very different energies. Even like your interaction with people, very different. Yeah, but both uniquely wonderful in their own way.
Yeah, because you can be on a set on a movie and then never meet half the cast, and then on a stage you'll meet everybody at some point, but then you'll be on Broadway and do 7 plays in 7 days, and then you'll be like, wait, what? And yeah, working like 40 hours, and yeah, it's just a whole different monster. So how do you design, like walk us through like the whole process of how do you design your body products?
So, like I said before, a support system is an amazing thing. I do a lot of partnerships with companies who specialize in all natural body products and things along the lines of that. And I love to be as on hand as possible. So, I've made lip balms, I've made oils myself. My mother and I, we go to Walmart and get the products. But then there are times where I partner with other companies and I pick the scent, I pick the labels, and the design and the print. I'm an artist as well. I draw and I paint as a little hobby. That's something I really enjoy. So I love to be able to incorporate that aspect as much as possible. And presentation is everything. I love getting to that part and deciding how things are going to look, how they're going to be presented to the consumer. So that's definitely the process. It's like a necessity in terms of just, it goes back to self-care and self-love and doing the little things in order to make yourself feel loved. So it is something that I care a lot about.
That's great that you're very hands-on, and it's great that you mentioned that it was all natural because I had no idea. So that's
very important to me. Yes, my mother and I were holistic.
Yes, I love that because it's just so many things nowadays that you have to be aware of, and people have so many different allergies and are sick and have sensitive skin and everything else. So that's like number one. They don't like non-GMO and things like that, and packaging and everything. So that's great that, people should definitely be aware of. So tell everybody about the Essence Reps program, because I love that concept and I like that, you're teaching kids.
So Essence Reps, I want to say that started when I was about 11, and we got some Essence ambassadors and basically other kids to help with the business. So I would have some of these representatives back when I had my store within the store helping work, set up, making some extra money. Also, sometimes we would give them some products and they would vend for me. And Essence Reps is just another way to learn about the business world from a young age, understand that your age doesn't define what you're capable of, and the knowledge is here. All you got to do is be willing to receive it.
Yes. So teaching kids money management and about the business, and it's basically economics, which they don't teach half in schools anymore, and money management, like
absolutely, yes.
Which I feel like they never taught in most schools, which I think is horrible. It's like a great business aspect, and I love that you're doing that.
Thank you.
So we were talking about mentors earlier, but who do you admire most? Like outside of like your mom, who is like your biggest support system and things like that. But who do you admire, whether it's in the fashion industry or, just in life in general?
That's all. You got me when you said I could say my mom. I would have said my mom. But honestly, that's a trick question because I'm very big on energy. I have to meet you in order to really appreciate you. So I think in terms of what I see and visually on social media and the way people present and carry themselves, I admire Billie Eilish. I love authenticity.
Nice.
I admire Willow Smith. I love people who are unique and true to themselves unapologetically. Zendaya, she's incredible.
Yes.
And I think those are definitely some influencers, some impactful people who use their authenticity to just be themselves. I appreciate that. I admire that.
Nice. Do you have another book coming out soon? Like, did you take quarantine to like write a book? I mean,
to be determined.
Like the name anything, but
I don't want to share too much. I don't want to say too much, but I definitely will say writing. I'm not stopping it anytime soon. Definitely, I want to publish more books. That is something I definitely want to do. I read a lot of Stephen King. I'm constantly amazed by how many books he's written. So I definitely want to write more books. Yes.
I'm in love with Stephen King. I always have been. I feel like I love it. Yes, I've always been obsessed with Stephen King. I watch everything. It's funny. I just last night watched Dr. Sleep.
How was it?
It's my.
Yeah, I want to see it. Yeah,
it's so good. I just watched it on Hulu last night. I was like, oh my gosh, this was so good. So good.
The longest book I have ever read was It by Stephen King. That book is over 1,100 pages. It took me 6 months. I remember feeling like my sophomore year in high school. I remember feeling so accomplished, like finally finishing that last page. Like, I did it. I did it. Yes.
See, I've seen definitely every film. No, I haven't seen Pet Sematary 2 yet. But
the recent one, the new one?
Yeah, the new one. The recent.
I saw that. My mom and I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. But yeah, I see all his films because I've always been obsessed. I was just that little girl that like loved Stephen King, and people were like, "How are you watching Stephen King and you're like 5?" And I'm like,
right.
Like, he's just brilliant. Like, how do you not love Stephen King? Like,
his imagination is fascinating. Yeah.
His mind is just like, how do you think of these things?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. But okay, so besides having a huge fashion empire in every country and just stores all over with your name, what do you see next for you? Tell us what else is going on and what do you have going on, Miss Mini Mogul? What do we have?
So like you said, my acting, that's something I've been doing a lot recently also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have new projects like coming out soon?
Right now has just been a lot of auditioning. The audition process is very extensive. So that's what I've been doing. I got an acting coach. I take a film production class. Everything's very virtual. So that's what I've been doing. I Oh, I don't like to say too much, but fashion-wise, I do have a
Ooh.
project I'm working on. I would love for that to be released before 2021. And
Oh, nice.
yes, so that's definitely something to look forward to. I'm very excited about it. And yes, it's going to be very hands-on. I do a lot of painting, I do a lot of art, and I really want to make this mine. So I guess that's what I can say. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Oh.
You're trying to figure it out. I see it. Yeah.
Out, right? You see my wheels turning. I'm trying
Yeah.
to before 2021. Okay, so
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure. Okay, I'm let it go. Okay, so in the new year, I want you to come back and show us whatever is this new fashion project.
I got you. I got you.
I'm
Yes.
excited. I want to know.
Yes.
Like, okay, what is this? Like, okay.
Mhm.
Interesting. Yeah, I love to paint in my spare time. It's like a stress
Mhm.
reliever. It's
It
really
is
very
so. Oh
soothing.
yes, absolutely. It's therapeutic. Very
Yeah,
therapeutic. Hmm.
it is. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Where do I see myself in 10 years? To be quite honest with you, I think one of the things I learned this year is I'm very present.
Yes,
Life is not guaranteed to anyone. I
very
definitely learned
true.
that. And so I'm very in the moment. What I would love for my life to look like in 10 years is to be happy. I would
Yes.
love to get my mom this big house she's always wanted. I would
Aw.
love to travel the world. I miss traveling. That's something I
Oh,
really wanted to do this year.
oh,
I want to publish more books. I want to star in more movies, and I just want my dreams to come true, man. That's it.
if you could star in your movie about your book,
Mhm.
who else would you want to be the other characters?
Ooh, that's a funny question. Let me think, because you have to remember
Your
these are
dream
all my
cast.
friends in real life too.
Yeah, I know. But so who would you want to be
Let
like
me
the
think.
dream cast?
I would want. I think I would want Faith to be
Mm-hmm.
Sky Jackson, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I would want. Have you seen the show The Shy?
Yes.
You know the one with the dress. His name is Mikey in real life. The little boy.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about.
I will want him to be the flame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. My best friend would probably be Storm Reed.
Oh,
Yeah. She's awesome. She's amazing.
I love her.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I think my mom would probably my mom would probably be either Tracy Ellis Ross or Alicia Keys, something like that.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
And yeah, that's good for me to think about. Oh, that's a great
Hey,
question. Thank
you
you.
gotta
Yes.
have it in your back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
If the network comes to you tomorrow, you gotta know.
Yes.
Have it. Okay, nice. I like it.
Mhm.
Oh, this was a great interview. I loved
Yes,
it.
I had fun. Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay. Don't forget, you got to come back in the new year and let me know about this whole
I got you. Like, just hit me up,
project.
man. Absolutely.
I'm
We're gonna do
holding
an
you to it.
update. Yeah.
Yes, an update. I'm holding you to it.
Yes.
Okay, this has been Be Seen, Be Heard with Jade, and I'm here with my girl Essynce Moore. Thank you
Good.
so much.
Thank
Okay,
you for having
everyone.
me.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much. Be safe, everyone. Wear your mask. Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.